YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We got another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video I'm coming on here with a video where we're going to be talking about the Washington Commanders showing interest in linebacker Anthony Barr. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure to go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media links, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, all down below in the description also. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video.
Let's go. Damn. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Louis. I'm about to fuck this joint up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Damn. When I hop in the booth, they fuck with my sound. Put that shit on the scale, we taxing pound for pound. Nigga keep this and put them in the ground. My shit in your ear and tell me how it sound. A nigga too smart can catch me out of bounds. Let's go. That bitch got cooked like some chicken. And he lying, he not rapping what he living. Yeah, that's my cousin, but this shit a business. Work that bitch out just like we doing fitness.
So, Anthony Barr, a linebacker, former Minnesota Viking, former Pro Bowler linebacker, is a free agent. He's a name that we talked a lot about early in the off season. Me personally, I made a couple videos on Anthony Barr, and I said in all those videos I would love to have an Anthony Barr on this team, but we don't seem like that kind of team that's going to go out there and get a big name like an Anthony Barr. You know, I think we're just gonna go ahead and get like a low-end player from someone else's roster once they get cut, and just add depth to this linebacker room, because there's no secret that this linebacking core / room is one of the worst in the NFL, and probably one of the worst positions on this team. I mean, outside of Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis, who else do you really have that you can trust? You know, you're one injury away from seeing David Mayo, Milo Eifel, or Khaleke Hudson, and that's not a good group that you want to see. So adding a guy like Anthony Barr to this roster is going to be really, really good for this team. And I always thought it was far-fetched, just because, again, I didn't think we were one of these teams that were going to be interested in a guy like Anthony Barr, because he still is considered a big name. And especially this late in the offseason, where we probably weren't looking for a big name. But I could be wrong. So a report came out today that the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys have shown interest in free agent linebacker Anthony Barr. And it kind of surprised me for that very reason, because I didn't think we were going to be interested in Anthony Barr. You know, I talked about wanting him. I would love to have him personally, but I just didn't think Ron Rivera wanted a guy like Anthony Barr. But, I mean, if we were to sign Anthony Barr, it would be for all the right reasons, and I would definitely understand it. Why? Because we know Ron Rivera wants to add more to this linebacking room. He wants to add a veteran, and he wants to have a player that can still go out there and make some plays. You know, a guy that can mentor a Jamin Davis, Cole Holcomb. So I would like to pick up, now I don't want to get too excited, but I definitely would raise my eyebrow now. I'll be like, okay, so we are interested, and I would be like, I would start to look into it, but I wouldn't get too excited about it, but I would get a little bit, just because when do we really sign these big names this late in the off season, right before training camp? Like, training camp is literally next week, and we're in talks about signing a player of an Anthony Barr caliber. I mean, this guy was phenomenal in Minnesota, a Pro Bowler. Him and Eric Kendricks was wreaking havoc in the NFC North for years, man. The guy is amazing. He's really, really good. And he still has a lot left in the tank. I want to look up how old he is. I want to say he's 30 or 29-ish. And he still has some years left in him. Now, he'll be coming here, I'm assuming, not in a backup role per se, but in a role that's not obviously as much as he played in Minnesota. So he's 30 years old. He has 17.5 sacks in his career. He know he can play a little bit of the edge rushing position too, so maybe that is a reason why we also want to bring him in, because he can play some edge rushing too, or he can line up as a stand-up linebacker also. But again, that's another thing that we have to consider, is that if we do sign Anthony Barr, is he going to be happy with his workload? Because we run majority nickel defense. We're rarely in our base defense. We're a 4-3. We have 3 down linebackers. And now, if we run our nickel defense and we have Anthony Barr, Jamin Davis, and Cole Holcomb, somebody is going to have to take a hit at their playing time. You know, obviously they're going to rotate these guys in and out, but someone isn't going to be happy, because they're going to see be seeing less of the field, and that could be Anthony Barr. And maybe he's cool with it. You know, maybe at this point in the offseason, he's like, man, I just want to play ball. No one has been showing interest in me. I just want to go ahead and play. I don't care what my role is on this team. I just want to go ahead, sign a contract, and play ball. So maybe he is thinking a little bit different, but he's only 30. You know, 30 is still a really, really good age for a linebacker. And maybe he wants to see more of the field, and those opportunities may not come here in Washington, since we have two young guys that we want to see one develop, and two, we want to see Cole Holcomb play for that contract that he so rightfully deserves, in my opinion, already. But he has a lot to prove now that he'll be playing the Mike position. Also, the Cowboys, they're interested in Anthony Barr. You know, that's a division rival. You know, not too excited about to hear that, but they're obviously looking to add to that linebacker room. You know, Micah Parsons as an edge rusher / linebacker. So they're looking to add to that linebacker room. And I really don't know much about their linebacker room, so I don't want to speak too much on Dallas. But they obviously need him because they're interested in Anthony Barr. But just because you're interested doesn't mean you're going to always pull the trigger. It's not like us being interested, he has to sign here. He has to pick us. You know what I'm saying? He has to want to come to Washington. And maybe there's enough on this defense that excites him, enough on this offense and this team and the direction that this team is going. Maybe this excites Anthony Barr. You know, Ron Rivera can get in his ear and tell him what we're building here in Washington, and that can make him want to sign here. Man, just a one year little deal, you know, for the 2022 season. And however you play, if you play well to deserve an extension, or if you play well and you're going to just take your talent somewhere else, fine with me. Like, at worst, I want depth for Anthony Barr. At tops, I would love to have Anthony Barr of old. But at worst, I just want depth. Because I don't want Milo Eifel. We're one injury away from David Mayo, Milo Eifel, Khalil Hudson, all of them guys. I don't want that. Like, I want to feel comfortable if, knock on wood here, one of our two starting guys go down, you have an Anthony Barr that can step in and replace him. You know, so I'm definitely interested. I'll keep you guys posted on it. And again, I would love an Anthony Barr here. But I thought it was unlikely for it to happen. But we're now put our name in the hat, and we're now interested in linebacker Anthony Barr. So we'll see where this story goes. And maybe Anthony Barr is a future Washington Commander here shortly. So yeah, man, let me try to think about this video in the comment section down below. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Help to the Washington Commanders. Oh yeah, also Landon Collins. I was gonna talk a little bit about him, but I think that ship has kind of sailed. Just because if they wanted Landon Collins, he's been sitting at home all this time, and they could have brought him back on a cheaper deal. He wants to be back. Clearly, he's reposting stuff in Washington, so he wants to be back. But I think that ship has sailed, because if they wanted him back, they would have got him back. But let me just think about this video in the comment section down below. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Help to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media, links down below in the description, and check out the Juan Gotti Token Sports store to buy some merch. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you pop, get you drop, slide.